All right, everybody, welcome to the inaugural episode. It's episode one of uh, this podcast. Still trying to think of a name of it right now. We'll workshop that. Don't worry, we'll have that for you guys. But joining with me today is my partner right here.
What's up, everybody? My name's Carlos. I'm a graduate student from UNLV, trying to break into the league, trying to work with the NFL and scouting and player personnel. Um, Grateful to be here. Appreciate you, Owen, for letting me be on your podcast and just, you know, and enjoy the space, enjoy this time.
Absolutely. And my name's Owen Crow, for those who may or may not know. We met each other through the IPSM program.
That's right.
We both have interests within personnel scouting, things like that. I think that's where our hobbies really lie. So
That's where we
that,
connected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what this podcast is going to be about mainly. It's going to be mainly a personnel managerial standpoint. We may talk about some things here and there about things that happen within the NFL, within college football that may impact personnel, but mainly this is just going to be one of those podcasts where we're going to talk a lot about the personnel and the scouting and kind of just what teams should do from that standpoint, right? But from a fandom standpoint, we'll start with this episode. This will be more of like um, an outlook of some of our teams. So I'm a Broncos fan myself.
I'm a Raiders fan, diehard Raiders fan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so I mean, obviously, people think it's kind of weird having Broncos Raiders fan in the same room, but
Yeah,
hey,
hey, we could still be friends, man. We could still be colleagues.
yeah, dude, we collectively hate the Chiefs more, so that's
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
that's how that's
And the Chargers.
yeah, right, and that's how we'll really connect,
Yeah.
right? The enemy of my enemy is your friend,
Yeah,
right? Or
exactly.
however the saying goes, yeah. But I want to get started first. I guess we'll get started with the breaking news. Honestly, let's get right into it because the Raiders somehow,
Yeah.
some way, will always find their way in the past 15 years in some sort of negative. At least,
We're always
at
in the
least, at least,
media somehow.
at least to
Yeah.
begin with. Like it looks negative to begin with,
Yeah.
but we'll start with the Max Crosby trade.
Yeah, man. Max Crosby got traded the other night to the Baltimore Ravens. The Raiders got two first round picks. It's one this year, one next year. This year's pick will be number 14. And so, two picks in the top 15. I think it's a pretty good, haul, especially the second first round pick because I know that the Raiders they were asking for a Micah Parsons like package,
Yeah, I
but
heard. Yeah,
me and lots of people were doubting that that's what they were going to get, considering Max Crosby's injury history and the fact that
right.
he was older than Micah Parsons, and Micah Parsons I feel like is can do more pass rushing than Max can, but that's no shot at Max though. Max can do it all, but that was just the reality of things. Raiders were
Yeah,
not going to get two first round picks, but when the Ravens offered, it was a no brainer deal.
I think this now we can finally say that the Raiders are finally committing to a rebuild.
I think that's what it
They-
feels like because I think in recent attempts they tried to do a reload or they tried to accelerate the rebuild by kind of doing quick fixes and patches here and there. But I think now, like you finally have a new head coach with Clint Kubiak. You're going to get your number one pick quarterback Fernando Mendoza. Um, you're gonna have full control of like the team pretty much. Spytek as the general manager,
Yeah,
Tom Brady as the minority owner overseeing football operations. Like
right.
this feels like a real clean slate as opposed to like previous attempts where you have some things from like previous regimes still sticking on to these other rebuilds.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say this we're going to talk a lot today about the Raiders. Honestly, I mean, it's going to be a Broncos Raiders type episode, but I mean, the Raiders have a lot of work to do as far as the rebuild goes. Mendoza is a shoe in for them. I feel
Right.
like from a first overall pick standpoint.
Yeah, it's like 99.9% sure
Yeah,
he's gonna be the number one pick.
yeah. I mean, I can't see them going anywhere else for that. I'm curious. I guess for what I'm curious to see how they do address the Max Crosby now gaping hole that they have now at the edge rusher spot
Yeah,
that's now just sitting there.
right. Well, I think at this point, along with the defensive end spot that he was holding down being empty, there's a lot of other holes too as well.
Yeah.
Granted, though, I think pass rusher, defensive end is one of the top priorities that the team needs to address. But honestly, I think that with free agency in the draft, I think the Raiders are going to try to just get the best players available because that's like what this roster is lacking. Albeit you do have some stars like Brock Bowers, Ashton Jinty.
Right.
You still have
Core
Colton,
offense. Yeah.
yeah, you still have Colton Miller at left tackle, but at these other spots, you just are really uncertain.
Yeah. And I'm curious as well. I mean, I guess I'm trying to think. I mean, do they address that at 14 in the draft, edge rusher? Do you think that's a possibility? Because the edge rushers this year are very deep.
Yeah,
Like there's a lot of edge rushers this year.
yeah.
So do you burn that at like at 14,
I
or is
think
that something?
so. I agree with you. I think that pass rushers, defense in general, I feel like it's much deeper than offense
Oh,
this
yeah,
year.
it's loaded
Yeah.
defensively this year.
And there might be a chance that some of these premier pass rushers falls. Ruben Bain, I feel like would probably be a pick there if he falls. I know that some people are concerned about his arm length,
I
but
know he's falling as of late. I mean, he was considered to be like a top 3, 5
yeah.
pick, and yeah, he's kind of fallen as which. I mean, arm length, yeah, I get, but I don't.
But I mean, turn on the film, man. He's a dog.
Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he absolutely wrecked pretty much everybody he faced, and I mean, even Indiana.
They had a hard time against him.
Mendoza was talking about how that edge rusher group with Mesidor and Bain, they couldn't they couldn't keep them under control. It was literally just
Yeah.
Bain was wrecking everybody, and I guess that's I mean we've seen it before, right? Where pass rushers who are generally maybe a little bit more compact, smaller,
Hmm.
I guess like an Elvis Dumerville, right? We've seen it in the past. That's a pull, by the way. We've seen
Yeah.
that.
hey, hey, Ravens right there.
Yeah, Ravens and Broncos and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was one of those shorter edge rushers, right? As far
Hmm.
as like length and stuff like that. Bane's obviously taller than him,
Hmm.
but I feel like his motor
His,
and his power
yeah.
is what's gonna really push him in the
And
NFL.
then yeah, he has some bend to it too as well. Like
Yeah,
combine all
yeah.
those things and like he wreaks havoc on the offensive line. And so I think what's really appealing about him is he has a lot of tools at his disposal that he can use to win, you know?
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I think that if he's at 14, I think the Raiders are strongly considering picking
Oh,
him.
I mean that's I mean if he falls all the way to
Yeah.
14, that should be like
Yeah,
home
that's
run.
yeah.
Like if you guys are able to get Mendoza and Bain in the same
Oh
draft,
yeah,
I
that's
mean that's
our rebuild is like several steps
no,
ahead.
like you would have taken that Crosby
Yeah.
trade, in any day. But who do you guys think that you should target in free agency, or at least
So uh, that's a very good question, bro. Because I think it's like shit, I'm using percentages again, but it's like a 90% chance that we're gonna get the center from Baltimore. Uh,
oh yeah, okay,
uh,
yeah,
I forget his name, but I think with all of the recent free agent signings that other teams have done, I think the Bills just signed another center. The Chargers signed a center. I
yeah,
think they're doing it because they know that we're going to be offering the most amount of money to. I think his name's Tyler Linderbaum, right?
yeah. Linderbaum,
Yeah,
that's who it is.
Linderbaum. There we go. Sorry about that, but
What's the salary cap for the Raiders this year? Is it like,
uh,
or
well,
at least how much they have to spend?
well, it's another good question, bro. Because since we have Max Crosby off the Bucks now, we're actually like
That's a lot. That's a lot
we're
off.
at a deficit. Like we need to spend money,
Right.
because
Yeah.
like right with the salary cap and everything, like we need a certain amount of money to have been spent in our books. With Max Crosby off of it, we're at a deficit now. We're like we need to spend all this money, and so
Right.
one way that we're going to fulfill that is by signing Tyler Linderbaum from the Ravens.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard a lot of people want Rashid Shaheed over to the Raiders.
Uh,
I've been hearing it, and I'm curious if they go after him because I know the Raiders want like a wide receiver one type of guy.
Yeah,
And I know the Raiders are searching for it. Now, no shade to Rashid Shaheed at all because that dude's an absolute monster.
yeah,
Both kick
oh yeah,
return, deep
oh yeah, he's a
passes.
baller. Number one receiver
Is he
though?
number one receiver? Like I
I
don't
don't think so,
know.
bro.
Like
I mean, like, I think he's not a number one, but like he can definitely make a very big impact on the game. Like as you saw recently with the Super Bowl, the playoff run, the season after he got traded to Seattle. Like I do think it'd be worth having him on the squad, but spending number one receiver money on him, I'm not sure about that.
mm, yeah,
I
and
I I would offer him a pretty good amount of money, but I wouldn't pay him too much because I mean he's not a number one. He's dynamic, but he's just not a number one.
yeah, because I mean Rashid Shaheed could do so much though, but like you guys are getting that value with like a Trent Tucker type of player or Trey Tucker. I'm
Yeah, Trey
sorry,
Tucker.
Trey
Yeah,
Tucker.
we have a similar player in Trey Tucker right now.
Yeah, like he's very. I mean, obviously Shaheed's better than him,
Yeah,
but
and
I'm
I for all my film watchers out there, like y'all know Trey Tucker. This past year was his best year. If
yeah.
y'all watch,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
y'all watch film. Like I know a lot, not a lot of people watch the Raiders because
Watching
they were
Raiders film in your
yeah
spare
Raiders
time.
film because they were they weren't that good. But like, hey man, like for all my ball knowers out there, y'all know Trey Tucker was killing it, and I still think that he has another level to reach in terms of like productivity and all that stuff. So I I feel like Trey Tucker has been trending upward, and I feel like with Mendoza, he'll probably ascend another level.
Yeah, and I like the idea of the Raiders adding Mendoza, and the reason why I say this, Mendoza is I think kind of bringing back a lost archetype of quarterback, where there he's like a pocket passer primarily.
Hmm.
Um, he's very like he wants to dissect a defense.
Yeah.
He wants to kind of learn about defenses and really be methodical.
Hmm.
And you can just kind of tell within his kind of preparation and like when he talks in interviews. And I feel like the Raiders could use kind of that change of pace a little bit.
Hmm.
And I feel like I mean Brady's obviously with football operations. I don't know how much he's going to get involved with
Bro, he's involved in everything, bro.
like player stuff. Like I don't again. I'm not in there. I don't know how much he's going to really get involved. But with that being said, Mendoza's the kind of player that would, if anyone was to take lessons from Brady
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
from a film standpoint.
yeah. No, definitely. I feel like, yeah, like Mendoza, he has, he has a good head between his shoulders,
Yeah,
and I feel like he'll definitely listen and kind of just try to absorb as much information as he can and learn as much as he can. And I feel like I guess, like he has that work ethic that he'll try and try and try until he'll like succeed. Like I feel like what you said, he brings a different type of like personality. I feel like I guess a different type of like archetype at quarterback that the Raiders haven't had in a while, and it'll be a change of pace. Like I think Mendoza brings the right change of pace where he'll like. I already feel like he's a leader. Like you could just see it
oh
with
yeah,
Indiana run, but
yeah.
I feel like once he like fully embraces that role, like I feel like the Raiders will like rally around him, and I feel like the trajectory will only go up from there.
I mean, yeah. Think about it. You got Mendoza, right? If they obviously we're assuming they pick Mendoza, but if they just like Mendoza, you'd have him, Genty, Brock Bowers as that core already within your rebuild.
Yeah,
That would already be within the rebuild,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think then I guess we'll kind of get more into like kind of like your wish list, your outlook
Okay,
for the
yeah,
Raiders. Do you think? I mean, offensive line emphasis has to be on there.
yeah. I mean, so it was so funny. I was just like thinking about this earlier today because um, in the media, I've heard that there's been some rumors that this offensive line unit, was better than it performed last year.
Mm.
and that coaching played a large part of it. Uh, I would say that like that definitely does factor in, but I would still want to elevate the floor of the offensive line. Like I do think the
Yeah.
Raiders need to draft uh, offensive linemen relatively early, or at least like do a good job of scouting them to like pick one that's good enough to contribute within like relatively quickly. Because I know we have Colton Miller at left tackle.
Yep.
Our guards didn't really play that well.
Yeah.
We had JPJ at center and not at center.
Right.
I still think uh, his best position on the line is at center.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Um, and then our right tackle DJ Glaze, there's been some flashes with him, but I don't know if it's worth investing in him to be the long term starter. I would want to draft someone to at least compete in that role along with like some of the guards. So
Yeah.
I do think the line will be better, even if we have the same like players on our
Yeah, yeah,
team,
yeah. Development, yeah.
right? But I do think the Raiders need to draft a really good offensive lineman to help Mendoza out and help Genti out.
Preferably you would say an interior?
Yeah, interior, and
Yeah.
I mean like we just mentioned earlier, they're most likely going to get Tyler Linderbaum at center,
Yeah.
and he's a damn good center. You
Oh,
know,
I mean, yeah. I mean
yeah.
the Ravens, I'd say the Ravens are one of the few teams this past couple of years that have really done a good job at drafting and developing linemen.
Hmm.
The past like 10, 15 years, they've been one of the teams
Yeah,
on a consistent basis that have developed
yeah,
O linemen effectively.
yeah. And so O line for sure,
Yeah.
and then D line. So I mean, like, hey, it's like that
D line,
cliche
yeah.
saying, like you build through the trenches, and I
Right.
think like when teams do commit to that, it pays dividends. Like you seen with the Seahawks last year,
Oh yeah.
they were notorious for not drafting linemen pretty early, but then they drafted a tackle the first round. They drafted that the
Yeah.
guard
Zobel, right? What's his name?
Greg. Uh,
Yes, I know exactly who you're
yeah,
talking about.
and you see how he helped um, Kenneth Walker
Yeah,
go crazy.
he was the left guard, wasn't
Yeah, yeah,
he? Yeah.
and so like I just think the Raiders need to stick to that, either defensive lineman or offensive lineman early. Um, and from there, like it's best player available, to be honest, because
Yeah.
we don't necessarily have like, I don't want to say quality players, but we need more
We
quality
don't have a
players.
lot of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so I think if we just hit line, offensive lineman, defensive lineman, and then kind of worry about the rest of the roster, just however the draft falls, best player available, I think that'll be like a good start to the rebuild.
Yeah. Let me see. What do you think about if we're going through like all the position groups
Hmm.
for the Raiders?
Yeah.
Defensive backs. What do we look
So
like?
I really like D'Angelo Ponds from Indiana.
Okay.
I really like his versatility, and he plays like really tough. Like he's a dog out there. He is undersized, but I think that uh, his size, well, it is a disadvantage. I still feel like he makes it up with like his technique, his zone coverage and man coverage ability. Like he's sticky, man. Like I really like how he plays. Um,
He has a nose for the ball too.
yeah, like
Like I
he's
mean
just always around the ball. Like
he tracks that ball
yeah,
really well.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if we have a shot at like getting him, I'd be more than happy.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I guess so like obviously what are the defensive backs like right now for the Raiders? Like
So I know that we drafted uh, a cornerback last year. Oh God, now I'm a Raiders fan. I can't remember the names now. But
yeah.
like he we drafted him. I think he was like a day two or early day three pick, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um he showed some flashes. He was like a longer, lengthier corner, like
Right.
one of those Pete Carroll like
Yeah,
prototypes
yeah, your
type
typical
of
Pete
corner,
Carroll picks. Yeah, yeah,
Um, but like, again, like this is a whole new coaching staff, so who
yeah.
knows
Yeah.
if like this is the type of player that the defense wants, that our new defensive coordinator wants, Robbie Leonard,
Yep.
and I don't know if you heard about this, but like the Raiders are transitioning to a 3-4 defense.
Or are they?
Yeah. And
Okay.
so with 3-4 defense, I feel like usually our corners play. They switched it up a little bit more between zone and man. Probably a
Yeah.
little bit more zone, but that corner that we drafted last year, man, I hate that I can't remember his name now because I swear.
Yeah.
But he was more of a man, a press man corner.
Okay.
So
And then yeah, so you're going on that then. So
yeah,
if they're switching to a 3-4, do you think that because obviously their defense now isn't geared to play that with the players that they have.
no,
So they need to address that either draft or free agency.
hmm
That's why we were talking about before the podcast that you had wanted Khalil Mack because
yeah,
Khalil Mack has that
yeah,
outside
versatility.
linebacker DN tendency.
Yeah, like hey, 2015 he was an All Pro at linebacker and defensive end. Come on now.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously news literally like 15 minutes before we started
Yeah,
recording that he re-signed with the Chargers.
yeah.
So
So
there,
yeah, I
so
mean he signed with the Chargers for 18 million.
I
Hey,
mean at his age that yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. I mean, kudos to him for securing the bag, but yeah. I mean, we're just like I said, bro. Like our rookies last year also didn't get to play as much,
Yeah.
and it's not that they're bad. It's just that we don't know if they're good.
Yeah,
Like
just not
we
enough sample size.
yeah,
Yeah.
we don't know much. Like and they flashed, like several times at games, but it's like for whatever reason the coaching staff just didn't play them extensively, and whether that was to secure the number one pick or they just really didn't think they were ready to play, who knows? But they're probably going to play a lot in this upcoming season.
Yeah. I mean, I would say they'd have to
Yeah.
because I think Kubiak's going to come in and from a Broncos perspective, I love the Kubiaks, right?
Hmm.
Gary's dad brought us Super Bowl in 2016. He was a solid head coach for the Texans for many, many
Oh
years.
yeah.
That tree, right, which the Kubiak tree is deep within the Shanahans as well. It's a very in those coaches that come from that tree, they're very innovative.
Hmm.
The Shanahans have always been very innovative. Kubiak's have Gary was very innovative
Yeah.
with defense, with Houston and things like that, and how he utilized J.J. Watt, Brian Cushing, Whitney Merciless,
Yeah.
all those type of players. And I'm curious now how Clint Kubiak kind of helps address his offense, address like the roster, how everything gets composed,
Hmm.
right? Because I mean the head coaches have their hands in everything.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, I think it's interesting that you say that because when he talked about his time with Mike McDonald,
Yeah,
he would say that Mike would ask him about the offense and like why he did this, why he ran that
yeah,
play call, why they're doing this concept, this, that, and the other. And so I feel like he's going to take that with him to the Raiders and now kind of like also have a hand in like what the defense is doing and how they're doing it. And so
yeah,
um, I feel like they're probably going to try to do their best to replicate some of the success that the Seahawks had. Um, I'm not sure about how that's going to look like under Robbie Leonard because
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean maybe he might look at how Mike McDonald ran his defense and go with that. But I know with the offense, like they traditionally run a lot of like zone run
yeah,
and like
yeah,
gap scheme,
yeah.
and so I feel like
You're talking about the Seahawks, the Raiders.
oh the Seahawks,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, the Seahawks. Yeah,
And
primarily
I feel
zone.
like
Yeah,
I mean now that Kubiak is with the Raiders, that's what they're going to transition to.
right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Um, and so they're probably going to look like for more athletic, faster O linemen to help
Yeah,
out. Um, and I mean, which you mentioned earlier, Rashid Shaheed. I mean, I know they were innovative with him and like including him in some of the
Seattle.
play calls.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
like they might sign him and like hi, like include him in some
I,
of the plays now.
yeah, I think it'll be enticing for Shaheed because Kubiak. I mean, Shaheed was doing similar things when New Orleans, right? I mean, that's kind
Hmm.
of how he got so valuable was when he was doing that stuff in New Orleans.
Yeah,
But Seattle kind of unlocked a new way in which he was useful.
Yeah.
They made him really like run the deep threat routes, like the go routes. Like they really put that with for him, and then just kind of just released him to kind of do whatever he wanted,
Mm.
right? As far as running deep and all that stuff, kick returns, and I feel like those are the type of players. While they may not be number one receivers, those are the type of players that any team would want because
Oh
they're just
yeah.
because they're just a weapon at any
Yeah.
given down.
Yeah. Yeah. They're yeah. It's like a net positive. Like
Right.
you have to account for him because whenever he gets the ball, it's just a threat to score.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. He's gonna score.
yeah.
Rashid Shaheed scored many times, but I think yeah. I was trying to think. Alec Pierce was another one that was coming in on free agency.
Oh, the fullback.
Alec, the wide
Oh no,
receiver
the
for
wide
the
receiver. I'm thinking of Alec Ingold.
no, yeah, no, the wide receiver for the Colts, formerly for the Colts. I don't know if he comes back to Indianapolis or not, but
He's not coming back to Indy, bro.
he, yeah, he's available in free agency, which free agency starts Monday,
Oh man, it's
so
gonna be
it's coming
crazy.
up
It's gonna be
already,
crazy. You're
already.
gonna yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
So I'm curious if the Raiders go after Alec Pierce. It really depends on how they're trying to build this offense.
I mean, I think because they need to spend the money, bro. I think they're gonna offer
They're
him
definitely
some.
gonna go after me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I just think they're gonna offer him something because I mean, uh, I just think like at this point they need again it's just best player available. They need to just start elevating the talent that's on the roster, and I feel like they can do that with Alec Pierce. I think he would help the wide receiver room. He would alleviate some of the pressure that be on some of the rookies from last year.
yeah,
I know Jack Besh, second round
yeah.
pick.
That's just yeah,
Dante Thornton. He
yeah,
had a really good first game and then kind of just like disappeared
yeah,
after
yeah,
that.
yeah. They didn't really
And
use him
then
after that.
Jack Bash, he showed some flashes of like some playmaking. I think like there were lots of plays where when he caught the ball, it was like a first down.
Yeah,
And so like
yeah,
I think there's something there, but I feel like if we have Pearson there, he kind of like is able to take some of the load off of those guys and kind of just like all right, like be one of the main focal points of the offense alongside Bowers and Genty.
yeah. I think overall the Raiders have a lot to think about on how they want to construct an offense,
Mm-hmm.
how use new defensive scheme. So now it's completely different strategy out there
Yeah.
in building this defense. Um, who they try to get, if it is through the draft, if it is through free agency, more than likely both. Um, yeah, I think the Raiders have the work cut out for them. The Broncos, on the other hand, the only main thing that I would say for Denver, monitoring Bo Nix's injury,
That's right.
making sure that Bo Nix comes back healthy. Um, saying that word going around that this has been a problem for him for quite some time. The ankle injury, I don't know how true that is, but I think just making sure that he comes back from that is the key thing
Yeah.
from a Broncos standpoint.
I think he'll be. I mean, he got the injury relatively late in the season,
Yeah.
right? Was it the championship game? Was it?
Uh,
No, the divisional.
no, it was divisional
Yeah,
against the
the
Bills.
divisional.
Yes.
Um, do you think he'll be ready by training camp?
Um, I mean, I would say it's definitely gonna be slow.
Yeah. I mean, we're
The
not doctors here. So
right, yeah. I mean, I would assume it was a fractured ankle, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think
So
so.
I would assume from a fractured ankle. Yeah, I mean, I would assume they would probably take it slow. He should be ready by July, though. For a fractured ankle, I think he injured it in January,
Yeah, it was January.
so he should be ready to go by July for a fracture. But um, he's the main thing. I do think we need to address getting some more help on the offensive standpoint, as far as either receivers, I do think the receivers need a little bit of attention.
Okay.
Not to the point where you're going out and you're spending all this money,
Hmm.
but we need to make sure that Cortland Sutton's good with the team. He has posted stuff on social media about him saying that he's
Really?
yeah about like thank you for the ride or something, whatever
Is
whatever it
he
was.
so like he's kind of disgruntled? Or
I'm not sure, and there hasn't been anything on it, but I've seen it, and I'm kind of just
he's still in a contract, right?
yeah, yeah. He got extended last year, I believe.
Oh.
So I want to make sure that he's all right. I want to make sure that we want to
Yeah.
make sure that he's doing good, because Cortland Sutton has been our number one receiver for many years at this point.
Yeah.
Um, but I do need to think: is it do we let Marvin Mims be the two? Are we going to Troy Franklin to be the two? What's going on there?
Yeah.
Do we need to bring somebody in
Yeah.
to be that number two? If we're not going to rely on Troy Franklin or Marvin Mims to do that. Pat Bryant was excellent out of Illinois this past year, um, but he had a couple bad concussions. So, I mean, there's been a lot of
Yeah.
injury with him when he's been getting that bigger role. I do think tight end is something that we may need to address. Evan Ingram was good for the first half of the season and then wasn't utilized at all. And it's kind of interesting in a Sean Payton offense. Typically, they utilize the tight ends a lot
Yes. Yes, they
in
do.
the past. So that's why I was a little shocked that Evan Ingram didn't get the same treatment. So I'm curious to see how that goes. RJ Harvey's pretty good.
RJ Harvey was fun to watch,
He was
man.
fun to watch. I do think he needs another back with him. Now, whether or not that's J.K. Dobbins again, or if that's somebody else, not sure.
Hmm.
I wanted David Montgomery, but then he got traded to the Texans.
Oh
So
yeah.
that's who I was. I was gonna have that before
Yeah.
when I was kind of thinking about my wish list
Yeah.
for this episode. I instantly was like David Montgomery
Yeah.
to be, and then as soon as I thought of that, literally he got traded to the Texans. So that was, but I'm curious because Joe Mixon got released a couple days ago by the Texans.
Okay.
So
That might be something
he's
worth looking into.
now he's injury prone. Does we might as well just get Dobbins, or are we
Yeah,
like
I mean,
so that's where it's interesting. I do think we need a more power back
mm.
to pair with RJ Harvey.
What about in the draft? Is there any guy in the draft that maybe
Like you
I personally I think like if you guys are looking for a power back or I mean I guess just somebody to like help RJ Harvey out, maybe in the later rounds, I think Mike Washington
Arkansas.
from
Yep.
Arkansas.
I was literally thinking him.
I
Yep.
think he's a pretty fun player.
He runs fast too.
Yeah, he runs pretty fast. Like I remember I saw a TikTok. He has a TikTok account, and I saw he posted a TikTok about his story about how he came to Arkansas, and it was pretty cool. If anybody ever gets a chance to like, highly recommend to just like he posted one. I think it was like a couple of weeks ago, but his story is pretty cool. He was at Buffalo his first couple of seasons, and then transferred several times before landing at Arkansas.
Yeah.
But hey, just watching his film, he's
I mean, I from my team report videos on TikTok, I had Mike Washington on my Arkansas list.
yeah, man.
And I think he was. I liked his blend
Yeah,
between power and elusiveness. He's definitely somebody I would love to add to
yeah,
that fold. Um, I would love for the Broncos to address a lot of offense in the draft
yeah.
because there isn't a lot of star power per se
Hmm.
in the draft, like in the receivers or the running
Yeah, not a
backs
lot
or
of blue chip
right.
prospects, you know.
But there is a good bit of depth in some of those areas that could,
Quality depth too.
yeah, that could contribute early. And Mike Washington's up there. I like a receiver. I like Chris Brazzell
Chris Brazzell.
from Tennessee.
Okay,
Dude, have you seen
I haven't watched film of him yet,
dude,
but like,
whenever you get the chance, watch Chris Brazzell or just watch Tennessee tape.
yeah,
Chris Brazzell has to be one of the best jump ball receivers I had
Mm,
seen in college the past couple of years.
okay.
Chris Brazzell is I feel because I feel like we need that jump ball receiver thinking of when Cortland's going to head out,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Whether that's retirement, whether that's leaving
Right.
elsewhere.
Right.
I think we need to start to consider the possibility of that because as Broncos fans, we've always kind of held on to Cortland. Cortland's kind of been the guy that we've like held on to that like no, he can't leave.
Yeah.
And I don't want Cortland to leave. But I think we need to consider the fact that Cortland needs to or we need a more physical receiver
Hmm.
for that next generation of
Yeah.
our offense. And Chris Brazzell, I feel like is going to be. I feel like he has number one receiver written on him. I feel like he does.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
because
might need to go watch film on him now, bro.
because Joey Aguilar loved him a lot
Yeah.
at Tennessee, and Tennessee had they had a good offense this year. They struggled towards the end, but early in the year, man, my goodness, they were
They're balling.
they were wrecking
Yeah.
people with their offense. And Brazzell led the charge. I think against Georgia, he had like 3 touchdowns against Georgia or something
Dang.
crazy like that.
Okay.
And he was like jumping over Georgia defenders
Yeah.
and making catches. That Georgia game is where he really stood out to me. Like this guy's legit.
Okay.
So Brazzell's a guy who I would love.
I think another guy for you for the Broncos. I'm like helping the enemy here,
Yeah,
but I mean even for the Raiders too. I mean like we
yeah,
need everybody, but
yeah,
um, Zachariah Branch.
yeah, oh, yeah.
You know,
Vegas local.
yeah, Vegas local Bishop Gorman. Uh, I think he's a nephew of Cliff Branch. Uh,
Is he?
yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah, former Raider.
Oh hey.
Rest
Oh,
in peace, Hall of Famer.
yeah.
Um, and I mean, he put on his tape, man. And he's dynamic
Oh,
with the
he's
ball.
yeah. Oh,
You know?
yeah. I mean Zachariah Branch. Speaking of him, my brother played against him
Yeah,
in high school, like
yeah.
lined up against him,
Oh God.
and he said that was the worst night of his life.
Oh my, yeah,
He
nah,
said that I think Branch ended up with like 250 and a couple
yeah,
touchdowns. Like
no,
yeah, it was.
it's ridiculous. So
But Zachariah Branch, yeah. To your point, he is. I mean, I a lot of people were kind of comparing him to Tyreek Hill when he first came in at USC.
mhm.
I don't think that's fair to him because I think people don't give Zachariah Branch a lot of credit
Mm,
for being a solid route running receiver. Not necessarily just a
yeah,
deep, but like some of his curl routes, some of his like 10-yard
bro, they were
digs,
clean. They were clean.
they're
And he like
solid.
snapped off like yeah,
Yes, yeah, and I feel like his release is really good. Yeah, Zachariah Branch, I think is, and he got and this may be scouting fatigue,
mm,
but he got a lot of praise at USC,
yeah,
and then didn't get a whole lot when he got to Georgia,
mm,
which you would have thought it would have been the opposite. But it kind of shocked me a little bit that
yeah,
he went to Georgia and wasn't like didn't get quite the same praise as he did at USC.
yeah. I think it's interesting because like um he like if not played better at Georgia than he did at USC maybe.
Yeah, I would argue
You
that.
know, and
Yeah.
so like I think yeah, like to your point, I feel like he should probably be higher in a lot of mock drafts than he is right
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
I think I've seen him like in like the third round.
Yeah. I've seen him like 3 or 4.
Yeah,
I think that's ridiculous.
yeah, you know, and so I think, I mean, I feel like you know if Bo Nix has him, I feel like he's gonna love him. I feel like that'll help
Yeah,
alleviate,
that would be solid.
kind of, you know, help overall raise the offense. I mean, Mendoza too will love him, but um,
Yeah. I mean,
I think for like the style of offense that like Sean Payton runs, if you get the ball in his hands, and
yeah.
he'll do a lot of work.
Yeah. 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 So yeah, I think that's I think receiver for Broncos should
Hmm.
definitely be addressed. Whoever it ends up being, I just think we have to address receiver in either the second or third round. I just think that's something that has to be a reality for
Hmm.
us. On the defensive side, obviously our defense is solid. I think the key thing is trying to bring a lot of these guys back
Yeah.
because I don't know why the Broncos do this. I don't know why they do this, but it always seems that every year I look at those Bronco fan pages on Instagram
Yeah.
and they'll be like upcoming free agents, and it's just like a paragraph
Yeah.
of
Of players.
players,
Yeah.
and it's just like all depth key players. Franklin Myers, for example, this year, I don't want Franklin Myers to leave. I thought he was really good for
Hmm.
us because we play more of a 3-4,
Yeah.
and he was a good D end in that 3-4 scheme. And I don't think he got a lot of credit because he was a good run stopper.
Yeah.
He got sacks.
Yeah.
He does it all.
Yeah.
Like Franklin Myers does it all. And either regardless of whether it's with the Broncos or anyone else, he's going to get paid this offseason.
Yeah.
He's
I
going to.
mean, yeah, to your point, like he really helped Bonito get a lot of
Yes.
one-on-one looks, and
Yeah.
Bonito, because of that, like took off and had a great season too.
Or even made Jonathan Cooper at some points
Yeah.
look like really good. Not no diss to Jonathan because Jonathan Cooper's amazing as well, but he really opens that up. You
Hmm.
know, having Franklin Myers and Zach Allen in the DN, and then
Yeah.
having Benito and Cooper has been working for us.
Yeah.
Having the most sacks in the NFL this year, I think, right? Yeah, I think we had the most
Yeah.
sacks in the NFL this
Yeah.
year. Yeah, pretty sure. Yes,
Well,
because
what's your guys' cap space looking like? Are you guys able to bring back a lot of those players?
yeah,
Or?
I mean, we're looking pretty good because the Russell Wilson money finally left.
Oh,
Because
not paying
we're not paying Russell Wilson
Mr.
anymore.
Unlimited no more.
No, no more. So, all that money's gone.
Yeah.
So now it's, um, I think we're at around, I want to say it's 35, 40
Okay.
million.
Yeah.
Um, and they did up the cap space for the NFL
They
this
did.
year. They
Yep.
upped it to a $301 million cap space. So that bumped everyone up to around an extra 15, 20 mil of cap space. So I feel like we have the funds to bring back Franklin Myers. If he's willing to come back on a team friendly deal, I would love that. Um, team friendly, I mean more like I would pay him in like the 13, $15 million
Yeah.
range a year. I would give him that
Okay.
13 to 15 million
Yeah.
dollars a year.
If you could only bring back one of the players, or maybe like considering the cap space, like which players would you want to prioritize?
I mean, yeah, Franklin Myers for
Yeah.
sure. There was I think they officially brought back Ben Powers. Otherwise, I would have said him,
Okay.
the left guard. Um, yeah, I think a lot of it is just making sure that the depth is intact.
Yeah.
Making sure that some of these O linemen don't go anywhere. I think what we have going with the O linemen is pretty good right now.
Yeah. You guys were underrated. I feel
Yeah,
like you guys did not get enough
because
praise.
and McGlinchey struggled early when we signed him, but he's came around.
Hmm.
Garrett Bowles is a Pro Bowler. Ben Powers, health issues, had some struggles, but he's been fine. Quinn Meinertz is one of the best guards in the
Yep.
NFL.
Yep.
The center position, I think we brought back Wattenberg, but I wouldn't mind shopping
Yeah.
center.
Okay.
But I think all in all, I think Franklin Myers has to be the main priority to
Okay.
bring back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see come Monday if a lot of these players are either resign or join another team. And I just thought of like one Raiders player, like,
Oh yeah. Yes.
but Eric Stokes, cornerback.
Stokes. Okay.
Yeah, and he was with the Packers before we signed him to a 1 year deal, and I think he outplayed his contract. I think a lot of people weren't talking about him even within the Raiders, but I think that's a good thing because um, I feel like in the secondary, if your name is exposed, it's either because you're having a really good season or you're getting burnt a
Yeah.
lot.
Or yeah, you're getting burnt alive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he was pretty much in between that. Like he was playing like very well on a bad Raiders defense, and when teams targeted him, I wouldn't say like completely shut him down, but like a lot of teams avoided his side and threw to the other side of the
Yeah.
defense, and so I feel like he'd be worth bringing back, and I feel like he would fit well within the new 3-4 defense that they're trying to implement. And so I would prioritize him. And again, since the Raiders need to spend a lot of money, I think I'd be fine giving him a pretty decently sized contract.
Yeah. Cool. Well, we'll see. Starts Monday, noon,
Yeah,
noon West Coast time.
yeah.
Monday.
and we'll keep the notifications on to see who gets signed and who gets.
Yep, I'm gonna be paying attention
Yeah.
entire way through.
Hopefully, we get Taylor in the bomb. That would be a great start.
Yeah, that would be an amazing start.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, Raiders so far investing more on a future. Unfortunately, costed Max Crosby, but
Yep.
I mean, if you guys are able to nail these picks, we could be talking about this trade a little bit
Yeah.
differently.
And
But
that's the thing too, because like history repeats itself, bro. Like this
yeah,
this is
yeah,
kind of like
yes,
what happened with the Khalil Mack situation.
Khalil
Like,
Mack and the Amari Cooper
yeah.
trade.
So
Yep.
I mean, I don't know why John Gruden traded him away, and then it's so weird because he talked about like hoping to find a pass rusher, and you had one on your
And
team.
you had Khalil Mack,
Yeah,
yeah,
an elite one,
and then he picked
right? And
and then
then
Mike Mayock picked Cleveland Farrell,
yeah, and then who knows what was the dynamic there when making the decision, but they ended up with Cleveland Farrell, Josh Jacobs, and
Jonathan Abram.
Jonathan Abram.
Yep.
That's right. And out of those three, really the only one that netted us a positive was Josh Jacobs. Like he was
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
pretty good running back. Um, Cleveland Farrell, Jonathan Abram. No shade to them, but like they didn't live up to their draft selection, and that set us back. That set us
Yeah.
back by a lot. And I mean, I feel like even now you're still seeing the repercussions of it. And so now, I mean, we have 4 first round picks in these 2 years.
In the next 2 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so obviously with the first one, we're gonna get Mendoza.
99% sure it's Mendoza,
And
yeah.
quarterback is arguably the most important position on the field, right? Right next to the pass rusher. But once we have that established, I feel like that takes away a lot of the pressure of starting a rebuild. Like you have the quarterback that you're gonna be like tied to the hip with, ride or
Yeah.
die with him. And I feel like Mendoza, um, well, he hasn't been. I feel like the elite prospect that we've seen at quarterback. I still think he's
Yeah.
the best quarterback in this year's draft.
Yeah, and I mean, he's definitely somebody that I feel like he's got the highest upside out of any
Yeah,
quarterback in this draft.
yeah.
And I mean, you have to give him credit where it's due. Fernando Mendoza went into a program in his first and only year in the program,
Mm-hmm.
a team that hasn't won a national championship in their 126 years of playing college football,
Mm-hmm.
put them in a situation to where not only did they win the national championship, they won their conference. They won the
They
Big
beat
Ten.
Ohio State.
Yeah,
The Penn State game was crazy.
Penn State game. They beat Ohio State. They ran the brakes, or yeah, they ran the brakes out with Oregon.
Yeah,
So a team that's more than likely going to have multiple first round or early round draft picks on the
yeah,
defensive side of the ball for both. I mean, that's Penn State, that's Oregon, that's
yeah.
Ohio State. Ohio State's going to have at least three
Mm-hmm.
in this year's draft
Yeah,
that are going to get drafted in the first round.
yeah,
And Mendoza was able to find a way to beat these guys, whether by short, close games or by blowing them out.
yeah,
And I think that his patience as a quarterback, his due diligence to get better,
yeah,
and his calculated, I guess, his calculated demeanor is what's really going to give him the best potential to be great in the
yeah.
NFL.
I think to that point, like he improved his play as the season went on, and
Yeah,
you saw it too in the playoffs, like against Miami. Like again, he went against probably two of the best pass rushers in the year's
easily the
draft.
most formidable D line he's probably faced.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he was getting hit, sacked. Like he still was able to like kind of shake all that off and like play his game, not make mistakes. He was very good with his decision making, and in the end, like you saw that quarterback draw, and it was
yeah.
crazy. He's not the most athletic quarterback, but
He's
somehow,
definitely not a running quarterback. No.
yeah, somehow he just avoided all that mess and like ran it in. So yeah, I think the Raiders will have a good start with Mendoza, but it's these next couple of picks, those other
They
3 first round picks that are really gonna
they
be.
have to hit.
Yeah,
They have to hit.
yeah,
Whoever 14 is in this year's draft
yeah.
has to hit.
And that I think that also goes to show as to like whether the Raiders will keep that pick or trade with somebody to get more picks.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
because I mean, at that point, like that's top 15. You can get a damn good player at the top 15 pick, and so would that be worth trading away for some more picks? We'll see what the Raiders do come April.
yeah. But yeah, we'll leave it at that for this episode. Um, we'll kind of go over a lot of these other um, teams. We'll go over some other like draft prospects we like,
Hmm.
things like that in the future, and we'll go over what happens in free agency.
Yeah, we'll
All
talk more
right,
ball.
all right. We'll see you guys later on.
Thank you.
Take care.